Let's see. Day five. Day five. Uh, another. It was an amazing day actually. Today turned out to be a complete day about family. Uh, I think this is probably the thousandth time I've listened to this song today. That's a Ziggy Marley song, "Beach in Hawaii," and it's kind of what started my day off. So I can't even talk with it on. It just takes me. But no, that was how my day started off because in this uh, journey, I guess you want to call it, one of the things I'm trying to capture is that one of the things that I, I'm driven to do and enjoy, and I'm enjoy doing it very much, and I encourage anyone to do is instead of just noticing a connection or realizing a connection, like act on a connection and see what that does. So this morning I get up. It's the last day of school for my kids' school here in California. Uh, Next year I'm going to have my youngest be finally in high school. I'll have two in high school and I'll be done, but I'll have two in high school for at least 4 years. So, or yeah, you get it anyway. But I get up this morning and my wife asked me to take the kids to school because we had graduation parties and all kinds of stuff the whole morning was just full of, and the kids only had a half day anyway. So I get up, I take them to school, and we get into the van, and my daughter and I's things always listen to music pretty loud, but my son doesn't like our style of music, so we all made a deal. My son could play something if we dug what he played, and he played that Ziggy Marley song, which is real special to me. Only because like that song came out like I want to say 2006ish, 2007, something like that. My son was born in '04, so it was right around the time he was like really starting to kick as a independent just person. He was like two and just exploded. This kid had more energy than and good energy. Like so, it wasn't. It's never directed bad. He just wanted not as long as he had something positive. That was just he's a good kid. So at about two, that I remember he was two, maybe a little older, three possibly. That song came out, and I can't sing with crap. So when all my kids were young, I would sing with them. The great thing about when they're that young, they're not gonna remember. So when you're home alone, you finally, if you've ever wanted to be a singer, that's your time. That's your time. So with all three of my kids, I did that. Anytime I was home alone with them, when they were up to about 3.5, 4, maybe, we would just blare out songs, and I had a song with each one of them. Of course, we were always drawn to do our best at. And my son, that was it. That was it. So it was cool to kind of he's really into that song right now. He's been listening to it a lot lately. He didn't even know the connection to it. He didn't remember us ever listening to it when he was younger or singing it together or anything like that. And that wasn't important. I was glad that something drew him. And so he'll carry it on in his own way and share it with his own kid. I'm sure one day. So that's kind of cool. But that also led to an amazing conversation with a friend of mine. Because we have some. It's funny because I had that song and that memory of my son, and we shared that like school and stuff, and then that made me think of my friend who just yesterday we were talking about because she used to live not too far from where I do, and we've visited several of the same beaches. When she lived where I do, and it actually came up in our conversation just yesterday about the beaches in Hawaii and walking on them, and because if you've ever been to Hawaii, it's a pretty magical place. I mean, it really is awesome. It's awesome. I mean, it's awesome. People don't realize how isolated Hawaii is because it's part of the U.S. So we just think it's right here with us. But man, no, it's way out there in like the middle of nowhere. It's so and it's diverse, like because so many cultures have like kind of shaped it over the years in modern times. I think so. There's like the weirdest things mixed together. Um, it's just a wild place. It's a wild place. Um, but we were talking about that because I love beaches and everything, and she had a connection to that song, and then she introduced me to some other music and things, and we ended up talking for I don't know, off and on for most of the early, I guess, the morning time, into the afternoon, until or at the after lunch until I had a graduation to get to. My daughter graduated 8th grade today, so I had to get to the ceremony around 3:34, something like that. So, but we were able to chat for a good hour, maybe, just, when we could. It was cool. And that led to some other stuff, and that's how it works. So that was just from that one little connection to a song. All of that came of it. There would end up being connections throughout the day to other things and bigger things. You know, um, I talked a little bit last night about my father-in-law and his health struggles and pain and stuff, and how he was planning on making it to all the things planned today. Where we had the graduation and then a party and so on and so forth. We coming over to my house, and well, it didn't quite work out completely. He ended up having a doctor's appointment first thing this morning, so he had to be taken to that, and then he made it to the graduation ceremony, which is the important part. I was really happy but it also ended up being a tough. It drug on a little longer than it probably needed to. I mean, it was nice and all, but like the mayor of the town that we live in was our commencement speaker, and um, so it was for my father-in-law being there in a wheelchair and his shape and stuff. It was probably a little long. So at the instead of after it was over, and he decided to have to go back home, and he was going to take a little bit of an edible, a smaller piece, and try to get some rest. So I stayed. I went to the graduation party, and had some dinner and stuff, and hung around for a little bit, but then it was important for me that I wanted to go hang out with my father-in-law, because what I didn't want to happen, I didn't want him to just take this and just go straight to sleep. I'll explain why, but I didn't want him to do that necessarily right away. So after spending enough time at the party, I took off and just went over to his place where he was at. And when I got there, you could tell it takes edibles about 45 minutes to become effective, and it had been right at that amount of time. So when I showed up, first got there, you could tell that it just kind of kicked in, or starting to, and I'll explain what I was doing. I didn't want him to just go to sleep and waste this time, and to make sense of that, he's in pain all the time. So when that's all your conscious can, or your mind, your brain, or whatever you want to call it, can focus on is that pain. It can't do anything else. It's not a willpower. It's not a choice thing. It's not a who's strong enough, who can take it. This isn't that kind of pain. This is a whole other thing. So the mind can't do nothing but focus and think about that pain, everything, and the only thing it can do is brief moments of explosion, meaning like something happens that irritates you, or a doorbell, a telephone, a TV commercial volume goes too high, someone spills something, like an irritant. You can snap out of it and scream, "What? No, knock it off!" Whatever, But then, boom, right back into it. That's it. So, and you do need something to take to end that, so you can go to rest or whatever. But you also got to be reminded sometimes of what it's like, or to be alive and be able to experience some moment in life, you know, like in the moment, like there. Like, so that's what I wanted to achieve. I knew that once the edible kicked in, he would be able to calm down and focus on whatever. And that's exactly what happened. We spent about an hour. We talked. It was the best conversation I probably had with him. Well, not probably, one on one since all this started. It was almost 6 months now. He shared with me, stories he shared with me a million times before, just like he would do when he was completely healthy. That's just who he was. It was cool, you know. We talked about things he was interested in. Our conversation was just across the board about all kinds of things. And he was able to do that because he wasn't in pain, you know. So, and I wanted to show him that when you first start taking these things for pain, you feel loopy, and you are a little bit, you feel loopy, but you like I don't use edibles, and so I don't have to do that. I'm just trying to explain. It's that way with like the 3-to-1 ratio stuff for nerve problems, and same concept. Like it calms out everything down, if that makes sense, and you can just have a normal conversation. You know, it was it was cool. It was cool, and there was a million things that led to that moment. You know, like it started months ago. Really, I decided I was gonna um, follow the connection I had with him to help him through this journey that he's clearly on. In any way I could. I wasn't going to be overbearing or disrespectful to the family, you know. Because they got it all under control by no means. I'm no, I just thought I'd do my little part where I could, and I knew I could help him in this way. And in order to do that, you had to literally follow, you know, just stay connected to the situation, because you have to understand he's progressed as time is, and I witnessed this with my own grandfather. As time increases, or goes by, and it gets worse, the body's deteriorating that much more, the pain gets that much higher, Um, you got to stay connected to that to understand it, because it's clearly nothing someone like I've ever been through, or any of us, if we're fully, like, not, if we're here, we're here. So this is a whole other thing. So to understand that, or to be at least empathetic towards it anyway, not to necessarily understand, I don't think it's any way possible, but you got to stay connected to him, the person, continuously, because that change and that progression is a level that none of us have any experience with. Nobody does. Like, I know people argue or will make a thing that how close people get, and then made a recovery of some sort, sometimes remarkable. And that, I think that's a different thing. I think that's a different thing. Like, if your body's still capable of being, repaired. And maybe one day that would be endless, but I'm right here, right now. Nah, it's a different thing. So, I think it's just inevitable for all of us at some point. But it was remarkable, and I was happy after about an hour. It was funny. He literally, I had to get up and give him like a root beer because his mouth was getting dry from talking, or stay laughing, making jokes, taking jabs at people, like cool, funny stuff. And so I got up and got him a root beer, and he's like, "Yeah, grab yourself a beer." So I give me a beer. I come back, and I realized I left my phone outside. So I told him, "Pam, I'll step out and grab my phone. If you slip off to sleep, no worries, man. I'll just let myself out and see you soon." And that's what happened. By the time I went to get my phone, I came back. He had already drifted off, and so at the same point or time, my wife was texting me that her mother-in-law was on her way home. She was leaving the party, so it worked out perfectly, And so I just want to talk about that. Was cool. That was cool. Oh, and then I had an amazing conversation with my sister-in-law too. I guess I don't, nothing really to say there. Just it was a great conversation, but I don't know. I don't really have a lot of, I guess, outside stuff to talk about today. I didn't make. I know this is my only video day, and it's not. It's just because today, like I said, it started off about family and kind of, that was the day. I'm enjoying that. I'm trying to stay connected to that too. So I'm gonna head back in, uh, you know, and hang with the kids and stuff. But I do want to get something down. So thank you, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.